This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On Air.
Welcome to the OI podcast, the Otago Institute podcast, conversations with experts from the worlds of arts, sciences and mataranga Māori, brought to you by the Otago Institute, the Otago branch of the Royal Society for Arts and Sciences. Kia ora, no mai, haere mai, and welcome. I'm Dr. Barb, a quantitative ecologist with a background in modelling, climate change, biodiversity, conservation prioritisation and SciComm, and a PhD in botany from Ōtākau Whakaihu Waka, the University of Otago. And we are very, very happy to have this amazing episode coming out to you. We're pre-recording this. We're pre-recording this on the Monday because you guys are off this weekend. Is that right?
Next Monday.
Oh, next Monday. Okay, after the weekend. Anyway, in any case, you're all super, super busy. Now, I should tell all the listeners out there who our special guests are today. So we have got Jack Orlovich, Stuart, Ryder and Declan. Say yes as I say it so people can see your voice. Jack, welcome.
Hi.
Stuart.
Hello.
Ryder.
How's it going?
And Declan.
Hello.
And you're all from Otago Boys High, is that right?
Correct.
Year
Yes.
11 and year 10. And you've won this amazing, amazing thing. Am I right? And it's all about Lego and robots and somehow 3D printed archaeological bones. That's a lot of things that I can't quite get in my brain how they fit together. But in some way, you've won a trip, or you've won the right to go in a massive big competition somewhere in America. Remind me where it is, Ryder? Houston, Texas.
Yep.
The heart of Houston, Texas. And all those out there who are Big Bang fans, that's where Sheldon comes from, right? Not Houston, but Texas.
I believe it's East Texas.
Yeah, it's Texas, not Houston. Sorry, yes, I should make that clear. It was not Houston, it was Texas. But yes, big place, the United States. Anyway, so how did you, first of all, what's the competition called? Stuart?
So this is the first Lego League, and
Lego League.
yeah, and this year the theme was unearthed.
Unearthed.
So, yeah.
And that's where the archaeology comes in.
So this is where the archaeology project comes in. So there's the robot game side of it, and there's also the archaeology side of it, which is where it comes into unearthed.
Right. So not like the first thing you think of when you think of robotics or robots in general, the first thing is maybe not archaeology. Although I've just been rewatching Stargate SG-1, which has both got robotics and anthropology in it. And it's probably way over your head. Sorry. You're not Stargate fans, are you? No, it was dead well before you guys were born. Sorry. Go back and watch it. It's all about robots. How did you get started with robots? Declan.
It was just the competition.
There was so what was the first competition you started with?
It was the one in Dunedin here, Otago.
It was the regional competition.
Yeah, the regional.
It was the regional competition.
Yep.
Yeah.
For Otago, and it was still part of this Lego League thing.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, I don't quite understand the Lego part of it. How does Lego goes in it? Anyway, there's a regional championships. Which did you win?
We did
Otago
not.
regional. You did not. But then you went to the nationals.
Yes, correct.
And then did you win the nationals?
Yep.
Yes.
You won the nationals. So you are the national champions for what? Robot. Lego League. That's amazing. So you made a robot between the four of you.
Yep.
You just made it. What did you make it out of?
So
Lego. Did you make it out of Lego?
Yeah, it's Lego Technic. So at Otago Boys in year 9, you can take robotics as a subject, which is the same sort of.
Sorry, that's my phone going beep.
That's all right.
Just ignore it.
Which
It'll
is
be on silent.
Which is the same sort of Lego Technic stuff. So you have this kit, and it has a couple different motors, types of motors and this hub thing, which is basically how you program it. And then you kind of just build a thing with wheels and kind of different arms and stuff, and you just code that on our board, the competition we do. You kind of just have to make a robot that can go around this board and just complete a bunch of different challenges.
So you have a big board, and
yes.
When you say board, it's not like a game board, like a Monopoly size. It's
it's
like room size.
It's 1.5 meters long.
Okay, and it has to go around, it has to do things.
Yes.
So you have to program it so it will go forwards and backwards.
Yep.
And sideways.
move its different like arms and stuff that was.
And does it have to
put
pick
on.
up things?
Yes, it does.
in some cases, yes.
Does it have to crack eggs?
No.
We wish. There are different. They call them missions in the competition lingo, but I think there are maybe 15 or so.
All right,
yes.
Okay, so you make your robot, and do you know what the missions are before you start?
Yeah, it's all completely. It's everything you know beforehand.
Everything. So
There's
you've
no
got a plan.
There's no
Right,
surprises.
okay, that's good.
Yeah, so
I think
we
planning is how we won the nationals.
Right.
We were sent a kit a while ago, and you set it up just wherever you can, and you just practice it and practice it and practice it.
So you've already made the robot when you go there. So you
Yes.
take the robot made,
Yeah.
pre-made.
So we've practiced it at school or at one of our houses or whatever,
Yeah.
and then when we actually go to the competition, we already have all of the code to complete everything.
Right.
So
So,
we just
so you
run
still
it.
have to build it there at the place, or you just take the robot
we
already made?
just take the robot that we've built, and then we just we like run all the different missions at the
Okay.
competition.
Okay, so it's all planned out. So you you just have to kind of be a bit organised, right?
Yeah.
But also you have to have the best solution.
And you'd be surprised how inconsistent robotics can be on the day.
It seems like it's kind of like one of those things where you kind of program it and then it's just a computer, so it just does what you programmed it to do.
Yeah.
But you haven't, not always have you programmed all the scenarios and then there's a bump in the road or...
As a problem with
It's
robotics,
the competition cast, as
the
they
only
say.
person you can blame is yourself, which is the
That-
most infuriating
well,
part about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a problem, but it's also a good thing about it, right? Like, you don't get into that whole blame game because it's like, yeah, mea culpa. I did it. Like, the robot didn't do it. So it's one of my pet peeves when people say, oh, the computer says. I can't do it because the computer won't let me. Like, computers don't do anything. They do what someone put that program in there, right? In this case, you guys. So I'm glad that you've got that really well. It gives me hope for the next generation. It truly does. It gives me hope. Now, okay, so there's missions. So you build the robot and you get the kits, right? And you build that all together, is that right? So is there a leader or is it totally democratic? Do you each have a specialist part of it? Is one of you good with arms and one good with legs?
Well, I think the kind of the competition outline, because they give you like a guidebook at the start, and that kind of suggested that you could use like some sort of team roles to just kind of be a bit more organised. And
Did you guys do roles?
yes, yeah, we did.
Did you dress up?
Oh, we wish.
So it's not role playing, like you didn't dress up like the wizard. And
So
you're like, no.
when it comes, I think we mentioned just before kind of how there's the research side of it and the archaeology, and Jack was kind of the
Lead.
Jack was the researcher. I think.
Okay, so you're the research lead.
Yeah.
So when we get to the archaeology place, we're like, Jack knows all the answers.
For better or worse, I can
For
answer
better or
those.
worse, you can answer the questions. Okay, cool.
And
then your role is
I was just the team captain.
team captain. Okay,
Yeah.
and Stuart, what's your role?
So I'm builder and coder. So
Builder and coder.
yeah, so I'm not the only coder, but I have done a lot of coding, especially experimenting with Python.
Right,
And also being the builder, I built the robot that we're using.
right. I'm so old that Python came after the coding that I did. That makes me really old, eh? Because I can see you going, oh, Python's like the old thing, isn't it? In your little young brains. Okay, and your role over there, Declan.
The coder and just tell everyone what's going on with the robot.
Right.
The problem, solution and stuff.
The problem solution stuff. Problem solution stuff is a big part of anything to do with coding. Running lots of things and trying to make it do wrong things before the game hits. So that's basically what you've been doing up until now, right?
Yeah.
Just trying it lots and lots of times.
Trying to get
and
it as
trying to-
accurate as possible.
Yes, yeah. Because we always used to say, if it's going to crash, it should crash hard and fast. The sooner it crashes, the better, because you don't want like a soft bug in there that kind of gets through and then when it really needs to work, it doesn't. You want stuff to crash fast and hard. But then, that's kind of a metaphor for my life. But don't necessarily follow that as a life metaphor. Right. So you guys are all from Otago Boys.
Yes.
And so how did you get together? Like, how did you get together and decide to do this? You had this course in year 9, right?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
obviously lots of people did that, but they didn't all go to the regionals or the nationals.
So Declan and I, we did robotics. We were in the same robotic class in year 9. We would because we'd do it in groups of 2. That was a similar sort of thing, but not like competition. That was just in class,
Right.
and we did that together. And then our teacher, who kind of like manages all this.
Should we give him a name shout out there?
Mr. Carl Wright.
Carl Wright.
Yes.
And he's obviously awesome, right? Because he
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
"This is competition. You guys should enter
Yeah,
it."
exactly.
And so then you formed up a little team of the four of you. So is that like everyone's got a 4-person team?
No.
No, a lot of people have way more than 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We originally had a 5th member, but then he didn't come to the national competition.
But then, like, if you have a 4-person team, like, there's pros and cons, right? Because you guys are fundraising to get to Houston. So if you had, like, a 5th person, it'd be, like, a whole extra bunch of money.
Like extra 5,000
yeah.
easily.
Yeah. So how much? Oh, 5,000. So how much is it costing for you guys just to go to Houston? Should I ask the father in the room?
I believe it's around $30,000.
Whoa. Yeah, I can imagine. Because you've got flights, you've got accommodation while you're there. How long are you there for?
8 days. Well, we're away from Dunedin for 8 days. I
8 days,
believe
yeah.
we're in Houston for 6 days, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
You've got time delays and all
The
sorts going to
competition
Houston.
spans over 4 days, though. So.
Yeah, so it's like it goes over a long time, right? Because you've got your built robot, you take your robot there, you've got it all coded up, but you have to do 15 missions, right? Do you do them all in a day? Oh, you're the guy who's in charge of calling for the robots and things. Is that all one day's worth of stuff, Declan?
So in the last 2 days we are there, we actually start the competition. Like, instead of just practicing, the competition actually starts, the scoring and everything.
Oh, right, okay. So you've got a little bit of practicing time while you're there in Houston.
Yes, we do.
Right, and then you've got your 15 missions, and they're all doing different, like, go this way, go
You
over
have
bridges.
3 games to do all the things, all the missions as possible.
Yeah. Oh, is it possible to not do some of the missions, like just to not run out of time or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
there's
can.
a time limit.
We can
so
strategically plan like which missions we want to do and which ones we want to be more time efficient on. But for each, so we get like 3 practice matches and then 3 official matches, and the official ones are the ones that count. And you just get if we get 215 on one and then 400 on the other, you just get the best score.
Right,
And then-
okay. So you get the best score of
Yeah.
all the scores that you do in the ones that count.
Yeah.
And is it like figure skating where you get points for kind of how artistic you were in doing the mission? Or is it just like do the mission, if you get it in the right place and do the right thing, then you're done?
You don't directly get points like that, but during a judging session where you present like the innovation project and stuff, if you talk about, because one of the segments as well is also the robot design. and
Oh, so you
being
actually
able
get
to-
you actually get like marks specifically on the robot design. So who was like the kind of, we want it to be like this many arms, this many legs, we want it to be red, yellow. Who was the colour designer? Jack, maybe you can answer that.
I'd say definitely not me. I'm not the robotics guy, but I think probably Ryder as the team captain, he's sort of like gets the idea on the table, you know what I mean? Then we all work together to workshop it and stuff.
Right.
But
And how many arms and legs did you decide on?
well, the specific design that we developed was that you have a bunch of different what do we call them? Attachments, yeah. Where for one run, you know, so we'll send the robot out to complete 3 missions, and we'll take it back, and then we'll change the attachment in order so it can more better complete a different run.
Oh, so you're swapping in and out
we've designed
attachments.
an interchangeable system. Where
Right,
we can,
and that's allowed within the rules,
yeah,
obviously.
absolutely. Yeah. A lot of teams do quite innovative things.
Right,
like
so you
that.
can decide to be either like a generalist robot and just have one kind of attachment that does everything, but maybe doesn't do anything really specifically, but does everything, but maybe a little bit slower. But you don't have to waste time changing attachments, or you can have specific attachments for every mission.
I should clarify that the practice rounds that you get and
Yeah.
the real rounds that you do, they're each 2.5 minutes long. So
Oh, right, 2.5
that's-
minutes.
yeah, so
oh,
it's a
here's me
pretty
thinking
short,
it. Yeah, no, that's good that you
pretty short
clarified that.
time frame.
I was thinking it was
So-
like a long time.
No, so you get
Wow.
only 2.5 minutes to complete as many as you can across the whole board.
So you have to do 15 missions in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important that you're like really time efficient.
Wow, that sounds like you're like a Formula One racing group, and you're the pit stop guys who have to like run in and change all the wheels and check all the oil and everything.
Well, that is kind of like our job. We've already got the robot, which is the car, and
Yeah,
the driver, which is
now you're the pit
code.
stop people.
Yeah.
So you transformed yourselves from like the mechanical engineer people who design the car, and now you've like, okay, we've done that. Now we're the pit stop people.
Yeah, like changing the wheels is changing the.
The attachments.
Yeah.
Oh wow. And how many attachments do you guys have? Are you allowed to tell me, or is it top secret?
I believe we have 5.
Yeah.
Around 5 or 6, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm a little bit worried that you don't know how many attachments you've got.
No, at the moment, I believe we have 4 since we have 4 runs.
We have a couple of experimental ones as well.
Ah, right. So you're still innovating.
That's where it gets a bit confusing.
Right. And what kind of missions are these? Like, is it things like you would do, like you imagine the rover, the one on Mars, like picking up soil samples and looking at or is it going over bridges? What kind of missions are we talking here?
Yeah, so the way it works is that the theme for this year is unearth or archaeology. So the whole board, the missions are themed around archaeology.
Right.
So one of the missions is you have to, there's this lady in a minecart and you have to help her get over a hill that she's stuck on.
She's in a what, sorry?
So like a minecart.
A minecart?
Yes.
Because minecarts are somehow attached to archaeology?
Well, it's
I
like
could try to find a picture.
It's like the in the cave, sort of.
Okay, cool. It's like Indiana Jones. That's what everybody thinks archaeology is.
It's not.
That's what we nicknamed the mission.
But there's a mission where you have to, excavate an artifact from inside you have to get an arm and sort of go inside a cave and bring out an artifact from and bring it to your home base again.
Yeah, which I can see would be a thing that you would have to do if you were doing archaeology on Mars or any other planet.
I think it's
if you had watched Stargate, you would know what I mean, because they send a robot through the Stargate and it goes to check out that everything's okay on the other side before they send the people through, and it ends up on another unknown world and it has to take pictures of things and then has an arm and it has an eye thing and attachments, basically, like your robot. So, I mean, I think this could be research for you guys. If you're bored on the plane on the way over there.
Didn't know we had homework for this.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's really cool. So the whole thing is about archaeology, which is kind of cute, right? So it's got this kind of theme, and then you're doing these different things. And is there like a brushing one where you brush things?
There is, actually.
Yeah. So you have to really delicate. So you have to get your robot to be delicate to brush the thing without hurting the bones. Is that right?
Not
particularly. If anything, we can be as rough as we like. But
oh, really?
I'll be honest, it's not the most accurate depiction of what archaeology is actually like. It is sort of an Indiana Jones-ified,
right? Okay,
dramatic version of it.
I shouldn't take this too realistic. No. Okay, cool. And so that's part of it, is the missions. And then you said there was another part, which is the whole research project part. So how does that work, and how is that connected to the robots? You're in charge of the research part, aren't you, Jack? And I can see these amazing things that you've got here. Like, toss me one of these bones. These look amazing. Okay. Just literally toss it. So this is not a real... Oh, no, it's definitely not. Look, it's like, folks, I am holding this, which looks like... Is it like a hip bone of some sort?
It's the top of a tibiotarsus of a moa, so that's the upper leg bone.
That sounds quite like a hip bone.
Oh, not quite there. It's a shin bone.
Sorry, it's somewhere in the vicinity of a hip.
Sorry,
this is the original specimen, if you're interested.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Like, it looks exactly, like 1,000% exactly... like the original on your phone there, but it's light. But it's got all the little nicks and grooves and everything. So how does this fit into your research project?
So if I had to summarise our research project in a sentence, it would be facilitating low-impact research in archaeology using something called photogrammetry.
Right.
And basically what that is you take an artefact, in this case the bone.
And these can be quite fragile, right? Like, I'm tossing this around because this is made of plastic of some sort, right?
And they're often one of a kind as well, right?
And they're often one of a kind, right? So you're not finding, this is actually not a moa bone. What is this?
Yeah, it is a moa bone.
It is a moa bone.
It's a leg bone.
It's a leg of a moa bone.
Yes.
Right. It's the bit of the drumstick.
Yeah. And photogrammetry is the science of taking 2D images or pictures.
Yeah.
And you take hundreds of pictures all around from different angles.
Yeah, and you just kind of scan it, make a 3D object.
The whole thing, and then you put it into a software which will almost stitch the photos together to turn it into a 3D model, which you can...
And that can... I guess that the amount of pictures you take gives you the fine resolution and detail that you've got on
the more
this phone.
photos you take, the better image you'll have generally.
Right. And did you take the photos of this?
Yep. All 300.
Oh, and so you had 300 photos just for this one bit?
Yep, something
wow,
like that.
And then you printed it off?
Yeah, so you get the 3D model and then you can print it off like we did, or we've even started experimenting with VR headsets.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
You can get, and you can do a lot of different things. And
can I ask, where's the original bone?
Safe in Professor Barber's lab.
Yeah, it's in the archaeology department.
It's in the archaeology department, Of course it is. Because
at the Otago University.
At the Otago University. Because if it was a real bone, I wouldn't be throwing it around this gently lobbing it. I should say not throwing it, gently lobbing it around the radio studio, right? Because it's plastic. So you basically, you're like that's your whole hands-off approach, right? So you've got this really precious, one-of-a-kind artifact there, and then rather than handling that, you get to kind of have this plastic version, which is, got all the dimensionality to it and all the little grooves and cuts and things in it, but you can handle it. Yeah. And presumably you can print off as many of these as you like.
So this is exactly what we were going after. So the original bones are obviously very fragile, and every time you touch them, the oils on your skin degrades a little part of them.
Yeah.
But if you scan
and
it
your DNA
once,
gets stuck on it, so their DNA...
Yeah. But if you have a 3D model of it and start 3D printing it, you can send that anywhere across the country, anywhere across the world.
That's amazing, isn't it?
And people can study that bone without worrying about damaging the original bone.
Yeah.
Because, some bones you're not allowed to take into other countries.
Yeah, of course, because you're trafficking of religious or
send the
biodiversity stuff. There's all sorts of things. But this, you've got no problem in taking this.
Well, even better, you just send the 3D model, and they can just print it.
They print it over there. So are you taking these with you?
Yes,
or are you sending because you haven't really got time to source yourself a printer and print it out. You're only there for 4 or 5 days, aren't you? Because how long did this actually take to print? This is pretty fine resolution.
Honestly, it only takes a couple of hours. It's great.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Can I ask what kind of printer you used?
It's a 3D printer. I'm not
was
sure.
Was it like one that goes round, or was it like a resin one that takes away the stuff?
No, it would go round and round.
It's the one that goes round
with
the filament.
With the filament.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you didn't have to sand it or anything.
No,
you just did it on a really fine resolution.
Perfect as is. You just take it off.
Amazing.
And think about how accessible that makes it to anyone in the world as well. All you have to do is, if you have a 3D printer, which you can get them relatively cheap nowadays.
You can,
right?
Yeah.
And $300 or $400, and
once you've got the scanned files, you can just send them to the person and they can print them off.
And that's totally done. And
can you send me these files?
We can see.
We totally could.
You could, but will you? That's the question.
Yeah,
I like your semantics there, Declan.
But if you think about think about all the applications that would have if you have, like we said, a really precious or a fragile bone, you can keep the original specimen completely safe and intact and still have all the study and research. You can study and research.
And intact also in undamaged from, as you're saying, oils, but also ancient DNA and everything that's that's there. That's all kind of still there because you don't have to touch it to scan it, right? You're just taking a picture of it.
And you can even, not only can you, because it's a pretty accurate recreation that you get, but you can also enhance it in a way. And imagine if you've got we'll say a leg bone of a moa or something, and it's got this big cut mark in it. So maybe someone back in the day got a knife or something and they started hacking into it because they're trying to get the meat out or something.
Right.
If you have that bone and you want to look at that cut mark really deep so you can maybe look at the more intricate details in it, whatever that may be, you can actually you can get a 3D model of it and then make it bigger, print it out so you can actually look at it in finer detail than you would have otherwise been able to if you just had the original specimen.
That's true.
It's recreating and also enhancing what you can
and
do.
I guess you could also get a whole lot of stone tools of different shapes and sizes, and different people have made them at different times and different places, like some in the South Island, some in the North Island. And you could try them in the cut marks to see if they actually fit. Is this a match for this? Is this the sort of tool that was used to make this mark? Whereas you wouldn't obviously be able to do that with the real bone, right? Because you'd be potentially damaging it. But if you've got a plastic one here, you can go for life.
What you're holding right now, that's a good example of it, where you can see there's a V mark, like a V cut on the top of it.
I just thought it was just broken.
I mean, this is just a portion of the bone, right?
Right, yeah.
But what you can see here is that someone has taken a sword or a knife of some variety and they've cut into it.
Yeah.
And they've taken off the rest of the tibiotarsus bone.
Right.
And they've probably used that to make maybe a spear or a weapon or something, just because that's quite a long bone. So that
okay. So you reckon after the meat, it's not a butchering thing; it's for using the bone actually as a tool.
Yeah, well, it
of
could be
some
both,
sort.
right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, presumably they ate the meat first, right? I mean, looks like a reasonably large bird that came from.
So you can, and then one of the other bones we've got here, these are swan bones.
These are really cool because these are like bird bones, hollow, and so you can actually see how light they are. all bird bones are quite light. These are obviously light because they're also made of plastic. But you can see the hollowness of them. And it's so cool. Look. You can hear how hollow they are if I clink them together. That's pretty cool. Tell us about the swan.
So
this is an extinct bird as well, isn't it?
It's, if I don't butcher it, it's Cygnus somnorensis, which is from the Chatham Islands specifically. And that is a swan that went extinct. Well, that bone is from, is it 600-ish years ago?
Yeah,
I
600
think?
years ago.
600
only 600?
Yeah, it's quite recent.
That's quite recent, eh?
Still before Shakespeare's time, but yeah.
Yeah. There's a good reference there, good relevancy. These look quite big, though, for a bird. How big was this swan? Any ideas?
It was bigger than the typical swan would
Bigger
be.
than a normal swan,
Yeah.
so it was a big swan. Because sometimes in islands you get things that are just bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, the moa were pretty big. Not all of them, obviously. There were
Those
some small
swans
ones.
also used to be bigger, but since they were so isolated on the Chatham Islands, that's a humerus. Those two are a humerus bone, and they had actually evolved to get smaller because they didn't actually have to flee from typical land mammals that you'd find in other places such as stoats and rats.
These were on the Chathams, you mean?
Yeah, they
confused.
didn't have that. They didn't
So this
have
was-
those on the Chathams. So those are smaller
Then
than it used to be. Okay, I'm sorry. That's what he said. That's what Professor Barber said.
What we're saying is that they evolved to be like that because there were no native predators on the Chatham Islands.
right.
So they evolved to be different than what the normal swan would be.
The normal swan being the one that's on the mainland here.
Yeah, and in other parts of the world as
And
well.
everywhere,
Yeah.
swans, right, okay. But these are big ones, you said. This is a big swan.
Yeah.
The bird was big.
The
The bird,
was bigger,
the
but that's
bird was
specific-
big, but this part of the bones
Yes.
was small.
We got there eventually.
Sorry, got there eventually.
That's all good.
But
So the bird was big, but this part of the bird.
Yeah, and
So
what
was this a flightless swan? No, surely
it was not
not.
flightless, but it had less flight capability than other
Right.
swans do because that's how it evolved.
Right, yes.
But what's special about what you're holding right now is that other bone had a cut mark, and that was because someone went in and they started chopping away at it.
Right, yeah.
But what you're holding, that has something called a green bone break. Green bone meaning it was fresh when it was broken.
Oh,
And when
right.
it's fresh, it still has moisture. It hasn't had time to dry out.
Right. I've had a green bone fracture.
Oh, well, yeah. When you try and do research on it, you get a lot of Mayo Clinic articles about human green bone fractures, and
yeah,
they're not nearly as helpful.
No.
But it's sort of, you see how it's fractured, it's not particularly neat or anything.
Yeah, no, it's all
That's
jagged around the
Yeah,
edges.
jagged. That's characteristic of a green bone break.
Right. That makes sense because it's a little bit more supple, so it kind of doesn't break with a crack.
And a
Breaks
green
with a
bone
good bone.
break is often indicative of human butchery, and that's just because green, it was fresh, right? So
Yeah.
we can assume that maybe a human killed the bird and then took off the meat around it, snapped the bone for what maybe they were trying to get more meat or for whatever purpose. But because the bone is still fresh, we can assume that it wasn't just broken after having sat around for 20 years and then someone stepped on it. Because then it would have dried out by that time, and it wouldn't break in the same way that it would have if it was fresh.
Right.
So because we can see a green bone
But it could have
break-
just died of natural causes, couldn't it?
Yeah, but then it might not have broken in that way.
But if it died of natural causes and then something else, but what would have eaten it? There wouldn't be anything to eat it because it's a swan in a place with no mammals.
Yeah, and that's what's
That
good
makes
about,
sense.
That's what's good about using the Chatham Islands as a case study, because there were no native animals that could have killed them.
Right.
We know that, well, we can't know, but we can be pretty certain that it was humans that were what caused the swan to become extinct in the Chatham Islands.
Yeah.
But what's tricky is that and this is sort of what our project is exploring, in North America,
Yeah.
you don't have the luxury of there being no native predators.
Right.
Because in the Chatham Islands, it's relatively isolated, right? But over in North America, there are a lot of other animals, like saber-toothed tiger and so many others, that could cause those green bone breaks just as humans could.
Yeah. Because other things are eating them.
Yeah, and that's why there is an ongoing debate on whether or not these megafaunal extinctions were caused by humans or animals or even climate change or a mix of them.
Yeah. I mean, that's the same Australia, South
the same.
America, North America, Eurasia, everywhere. You're talking about mammoths or you're talking about...
Yeah.
whatever you're talking about.
The good thing about, again, Chatham Islands is that we can use that as an example of what we know humans cause this, and then we've used this technology, the photogrammetry, to investigate that further and to apply it, right? So you can be holding it right now and we can talk about it on podcast. We couldn't do that with the real bones.
That's true. Yeah. They wouldn't let me just muck around with these in my hands as we're talking.
We'd hope not.
So this is a whole separate part almost, like it's a second part to the project. So you have the kind of the robots and the missions, and then you have this bit. So are you, when you're at the competition, are you doing a display? Are you talking to the bones? How do you present your project on this part, the photogrammetry part?
So at the competition we have like the set space where we can kind of just put all of our stuff, which is called a pit, and we can display our project there, which most teams do. But as a part of the competition, which will be on one of the days when we go there, is we go see some judges in like a judging room, and we just present them with mainly the innovation project, but then we also tell them a bit about like the robot design as well.
Okay. Because I guess there's two parts to this. Like photogrammetry is really cool, but this isn't the first time it was done. You didn't invent that. But what's cool is the way that you're using it, right? And the fact, like the specifics of the bones and the swan and the looking at it from the Chatham Islands and that sort of like the angle that you're taking with it and how you're using it. Have you got a particular Mataranga Māori slant to it from like, because as you were saying, there were folk on the Chatham Islands from like Whakatoki or something around the wild song. I don't know the answer to this question. I'm just throwing it out there in case there is.
I'm not sure if we know the answer either.
I mean, it might be quite just totally ignore me if you're wrong, but I was just thinking that a little bit of Mataranga Māori on top of your already cool project might actually just take it that next step up. Talk to Scylla Wehe, because she's done it with a whole bunch of other people whose names I can't remember, Tom and a bunch of other people. They've done a whole big project on whakatoki and sayings about species that were there that have come down through the oral history. And so that might be quite interesting just to layer on top of it, because it's kind of archaeology. And I guess the other big resource here in Dunedin is the Otago Museum. Mm-hmm. And they've got bones there as well. And, of course, the exciting footprints. Have you guys been in to see the footprints of the moa? They're not the real ones there, I think. Or actually, I don't know if they've got the real ones on display now. But they had casts of them, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, that's a really cool use for this technology as well, isn't it? Because, like, the footprints of things, they're kind of fleeting when they're there as well. Tell us about the rest of your bones you've got there. You've got a purple one there, and that's the cool thing about these, because they're just made. These ones are lovely. You've made them sort of bone-coloured, and aesthetically that's great. But I do like the purple one.
So this purple one is actually exactly the same as this bigger...
Oh, it's the same one, just shrunk down.
Yeah, so this is our first prototype of the moa bone.
Oh, I see.
So it is a lot smaller, and we just didn't... It was a trial to make sure it would actually work, right?
Yeah.
And this was the only filament we had at the time before we went out and bought the nice, fancy bone-coloured one.
Yeah.
But this was sort of just a proof of concept for us that let us keep going. And then this one, again, it's exactly the same.
This beautiful bronze gold one. I mean, that is fancy as. That looks like a replacement bone. You know, when you get a hip replacement when you're really old? Oh, you're broken? I mean, that looks like... You could slip that in, couldn't you? Sorry, tell me. But that one's slightly bigger, right?
Yeah, so this one is actually a little bit too big. We were trying to get the scale right to the actual bone, and this final one is the correct size, or at least it should be the correct size.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess you can measure that.
So this is sort of just... We went through 3 different iterations for this moa bone, just
bit of trial and error there to get it right. To get
it correct, not just for the actual bone, but just in the whole 3D printing medium in general, trying to get all the sizings and everything to be right. Yeah, it's
beautifully printed.
Yeah, and then,
you didn't have to do any touching up, any sanding or anything?
No, it's pretty crazy how it just prints it out as is.
I mean, pretty crazy.
Sometimes, depending on the quality of your scan, you have to touch up the actual 3D model, like online. You might go into Blender or another editing software and maybe there's a fragment that's sort of sticking out where it's not meant to be or something, and you can just go in and fix that, and then once you print it, it should theoretically be all right.
Right. And just for another TV reference that you obviously won't get, I would just point you towards Bones, which has Angel from Buffy Vampire Slayer in it. It's not him, it's the actor. Totally unrelated, but I always imagine it's just Angel the vampire continuing on. This is what he did after Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But it's a story about bones, human bones again, but sometimes they do scan them so that they can look at them, which is really cool. It's like what you're doing, but they're doing it with just boring people. You're doing it with cool artifacts. What's the red one you've got there?
So this is even before our first prototype. This is what we brought to Nationals back in December.
Right.
So this is it a Moa metatarsus, I think?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So that's like a finger bone.
No, it is another leg bone.
All right.
I think tarsus. Oh wait, is it?
Wasn't the foot bone?
It's the foot.
A foot bone.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, fingers, foot.
Tarsus. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But this is worse than our other ones because you can on the bottom of it is because we use a different software to create the 3D images than what we've used now. As a worse software because you couldn't really accurately get the whole bone.
Yeah.
You get the top of it
because the top looks really amazing, but the bottom is kind of in these kind of flat slices, and it kind of looks a bit more like it's just the program's cut off the edges because it couldn't quite see what to do with those bits, so it just made big flat planes, whereas the top is all amazing, but still a little bit more liney than these new ones. Like that bronze one is amazing. And these bones, I mean, that, to all intents and purposes, that looks like it's bone. I mean, you could totally put that out of a birthday cake and people would not realise that it wasn't just normal bone. They would all scream and run away.
And the reason that we didn't get the bottom of this is because in that original software, you can rotate. Because, of course, if you're taking photos from the bone, it's staying at the same place. You're just moving where you're taking the photo. But if you try and flip the bone over to get the underside of it, that software just got really confused. It had no idea what happened. You move the bone, it freaks out. It's like, wait, where'd the bone go? I'm so confused. So you can only get one side of it looking really good. And the other side, maybe you'll get a bit here and there that looks okay. But overall, it's just sort of...
And so this new software... It's the same thing. You've got the object sitting there, the bone sitting there, and you take all the photos all around it, and then you can just say, hey, software, I'm going to flip this over, and this is the bottom.
Yeah, and it just knows what you do. But
like it doesn't know. It's joining up the pieces from reference bits and points that it's got on other places, right? Yeah, sorry.
But I think probably the main difference of the softwares is that the original one we called Polycam, it's still a useful software, although they've sort of started shutting down or something recently. It's strange.
It's the thing with software, eh? As soon as you learn how to use one, next one comes out and that one's defunct.
But that's quite entry level, and it's sort of used more for, if you just want to make a 3D model or something around the house, if you want to get your up and go bottle or something, get a cool scan of it to send to your friends. That's sort of the purpose of it. But the new one, Photo Catch, that's a little bit more...
And do I have to buy this Photo Catch? Do I have to pay for it?
You can do free trials and stuff, but if you want to be using it consistently...
So you guys have just bought a copy of it, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's what parents are for.
Yeah. It's the perfect use. But the difference is that in Polycam, which is the original software, it sort of automates the process for you. Because you went around and you didn't take a bunch of photos. You went around like in a video almost.
Right, so you're just moving it around and taking it. Whereas this new one, you're taking the photos.
You take all the photos and you take the photos just in the normal camera app. It's completely unrelated. And then you put it all in a file and you upload it to the Photo Catch software. And that will it stitches it together.
Right.
But Polycam, almost in an attempt to make a more user-friendly experience, it got a worse product as a result of that.
That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? But now you've got the good one. Now, can I ask what are the size limitations of doing this? So Photo Catch, can you do something as small as a moth? Could you do like 300 photos around a moth and give me a total perfect replica of a moth?
You definitely could, yeah. You just have to make sure that the photos are close enough where you actually get all the detail. So you might have to get a specialised camera depending on how small the moth is.
But that just depends on your macro lens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. And the same with bigness, right? So you could take a picture of a massive boulder and then print it out 1/100th of the size instead of 100 times bigger.
Yeah, the only other limitation, I guess, would be the size and ability of the 3D printer. But as long as you have the...
Yeah, but if you want to print it small, you just, you take a big thing and then shrink it down, and you could, like, potentially use a drone to go around and take a picture of a landscape and then make a perfect replication of it. Go on, Stuart, tell me I'm wrong.
I was just saying, but also if you have a 3D printer that can only print things so big, you can always just split your model into chunks.
Of course.
And then have little...
like little dowel bits that stick them together, basically, and then stick them together.
Stick them together.
So they call them biscuits now in the world of...
depending on how long you're willing to wait for the printer to print stuff, you can make it as big as you want.
One of the really cool artists that I follow on the internet is Ali Spagnoli, and she does these really super crazy things, but the latest thing she's done is made the world's biggest tape measure, and she did that. She basically printed 42 pieces of the tape measure. It's massive, and it works. Like, she got, like, the actual tape comes out, it winds back in and everything, and it's in the Guinness Book of Records. I think you guys should be aiming for a Guinness Book of Records. Have you got ambitions for a Guinness Book of Records?
I hadn't really thought about it.
Because it just occurred to me that the other thing you could do is you could just, you could get all of the moa bones, basically, in the whole of New Zealand, and you could do the photogrammetry on them, and then you could stick them together. Like, you could do species by species, obviously, but you could stick them together, like bits from different birds, right? And you could make, like, a whole, and do each different bone, like each different, specific bird, a different colour, right? So this is one from here and this is one from down the road. And they're different individuals, but they're the same species. And you could kind of stick them together and go, okay, this is the skeleton of this. And if you had enough individuals with bits, because no skeleton's completely complete, right? Very seldom do you get that in archaeology. But how cool would that be? Because you'd be able to manipulate them, right? And the same with, how things, when they're archaeology, when it's buried, it gets all the weight of all the earth or the water or whatever's on it, and it gets squished and it gets sort of disformed out of shape by the weight. You could use physics to work out what the weights were, and then use your cool photogrammetry, take a picture of the bone, all its crinkles and everything, and then just reverse that process and make it expand up to being not disformed. How cool would that be? And all these greenstone, if you got both ends, you could stick them back together again, but in different colours. So you can still see where the breaks are. Oh, this is so exciting.
The only limitation about printing out, whole skeletons is you got to be wary about every single bone that you have, and there are hundreds of bones and skeletons. Every single one, you need to take, a few
That's
hundred
just
photos
time.
of
That's just
of
time.
each bone and then stitch them.
Can't
all
you make a
together in
robot that will take the pictures for you? Is that not the next step? Program the robot, get yourselves a little armature that holds the little cell phone. Just get it to sync up, so it'll go press the button, and then just get it to move around and get the robot to take the pictures of the bones. Is that feasible?
Because, also you need to, if the bone's like this, you need to go, round, and then flip it over.
You can make an arm to do that, mate. I have trust. I have belief in you guys. That's your mission.
And you know what? You're not totally coming out of left field here, because I think the person who printed these bones, his name is Steve Ting. He works at the the museum, the Otago Museum. And not too long ago, he was actually talking with them about creating a digital archive of all of the bones, and you can use it for education purposes, send it all across the world.
Totally. If you could automate it, for museums, it'd be revolutionary. And for research, I reckon. Mm-hmm. I think, honestly, it's the perfect melding. I don't want to say that your project's not already brilliant. It's amazing. But I can totally see where it would go, which is the mark of any great project. Mm-hmm. If you get a project and it's oh yeah, that's the finish, then in science, and back me up here, David, that's boring. That's the end, because you're finished, even if it's wonderful. The mark of science is always the next step. You're never done. Once you're on this road, I'm sorry guys, but you've started now. How old are you?
14, 15.
14, 15, another 50 years you'll still be working in the same area. Oh my goodness. That sounds scary, doesn't it, Stuart? I can see by the look on your face that sounds scary. Have you got ambitions to be a robot archaeologist?
I'm not sure.
Not sure? What are your ambitions in life? Just getting through to the end of Houston.
Well, that's the plan for the moment.
That's the plan for the moment. What about you, Declan?
I do have goals, but like, it's just get through school and stuff.
Get through school? Yep. Jack?
Probably cross that bridge when I come to it.
Cross that bridge. Okay, hedging bets all across the table, Ryder.
I would say my top priority at the moment is doing well in Houston.
Houston. Give it your all.
Yeah.
Hey, now, we were talking about money before and how much it's costing. You guys have been fundraising like crazy. Sausage sizzles.
How many did we actually do?
We did 3.
Yep.
Oh, seems like more, doesn't it? Always seems like more. It always does. Now, tell me, now I've got numbers here because someone kindly provided them before the show and now I can't find them, but they did, and they are here on my phone. Here it is here. It's coming up, folks. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. There's a number that you can donate to. Look at all those beautiful pictures. I had a sneak preview of the pictures, guys. Okay, account name, Otago Boys High School Board of Trustees, account number. Now I'm going to read this out, folks, but I'm also going to put it on the episode description, so I don't feel like you have to remember that. Is it all right if I read out account numbers on radio? It is 060901 039 153900, reference USA. And that is to help the guys get to the first Lego League Challenge Internationals in Houston, Texas.
Representing New Zealand.
Representing New Zealand. And do you get a special... I see you guys have got badges on your things. Do you get a special We Represented New Zealand badge?
I do not believe so.
Right, well, I think...
Sadly.
Do you know what I think you should do? You know what I'm going to say. Print yourself one, 3D print it.
Although I just stress that you must put the reference USA, otherwise we don't get the money.
Yes, put reference USA, stress. That's a good reciting of that. And we will put that. Now, you've done heaps of things. Look at this. You've got kindly donated from... I can't see because I've got to put my glasses on because I'm now old. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. It says here, the boys have received generous support from many places, including the Otago Boys Foundation, Tyndall Foundation, Fisher and Paykel, Separix Nutritionals, am I saying that right? United Machinists, some very generous private donors, Cookie Time, and many other companies that kindly donated prizes for the bingo night and raffle and the 3 sausage sizzles. So it sounds like you guys have been super, super busy. And I can't wait. Are you going to take some pictures and some videos for us while you're over there?
My camera roll is going to be like twice the size by the time I come back. I think.
Okay. We want lots of pictures, lots of video rolls. Presumably you're going to have some escorts. Is that your role there, David?
Yep, that's right.
So you'll be escorting them over there, ensuring that they don't get caught at the borders?
Yes, let's hope that doesn't happen. So the teacher, Mr. Wright, Carla, is coming with us too, and 2 parents, Howard, which is Stuart's dad, and me.
Yep.
And
it's an all-boy affair, isn't it?
It is, yep, boys' trip, that's right.
Presumably
exciting.
Girls are allowed in this
Absolutely,
event.
yeah. In fact, there were quite a few teams. The team next to us at the Nationals was all girls. I think they were St Hilda's from memory, yeah. So,
oh, right.
Yeah, plenty of other schools.
Right, but you guys are the winners. You are the New Zealand champs.
Right.
It's so amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
And just, like, your bones look amazing. They look absolutely amazing. I wish that I had the actual working robot here in the studio so I could see it zooming around. So you have to send me a little video of it doing the missions. Even if it's just practice missions.
I have a video. I have a couple videos on my phone.
Oh, yeah, so you could upload them onto the... Because I'm sure, like, everybody who's listening to that is just like, I want to see the robot, I want to see the robot. Yeah, and I want to see it on the archaeological, like, the whole Indiana Jones board game that you've got going there. And I want to see the armature when you make the new one. After Houston, concentrate on Houston first. But once you've done that, I want to see the new arms that you make that, you've got a couple of arms that can hold the bone and then another arm that lifts the camera up and rotates it round like that so that it can take all the pictures and move them round, because I think that's really cool. Like the Dr. Octopus in the Spider-Man movies, he's got like 8 arms. You could have 8 going at the same time. Sorry, Declan, did you want to interrupt me there?
No.
Oh. Have I got a popular reference of anything that's anywhere near your age group yet? Yeah, Spider-Man's there, right?
That's fine. Yeah.
That's right. You're with me there. Okay, last thoughts. What's the thing that's most exciting? Have you got any food things that you're dying to try while you're in Texas?
Oh, some Texas steak for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're all about the red meat, aren't they, Texas?
I'm vegetarian, so...
Oh, that's right. Oh, so what are you going to eat while you're there?
That's a really, really good question.
I mean, there are sides that come with classic... What they call barbecue, but it's kind of smokehouse stuff. But I think most of those sides have bacon in them.
I'll live on potatoes for the week, I reckon.
That doesn't sound healthy. They have corn as well.
And I hear
they have sweet corn.
Yeah,
and coleslaw.
Aren't potatoes like a complete nutritional thing if you have them with a fat or something? I've heard that.
I don't think that's true. I think
I'm pretty sure that's true.
I don't think someone who was Irish told you that. I don't think that's true. What about you guys, Stuart, Declan? Are you guys vegetarian or are you steak bound?
No. Just
honestly,
eat everything.
Everything?
Yeah, everything.
Right. And what about you, David?
Well, I'm vegetarian too, so we're going to be a team to look for potatoes and other sweet corn, stuff like that.
There'll be other stuff there. There'll be Twinkies there. Twinkies, they are gonna survive the nuclear holocaust. Apparently, this is.
And we've been researching Taco Bell. I think they have vegetarian options. Surely they'll have that.
There must be something better than that.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
I honestly, aside from steak and barbecue, I can't think what Texas. Oh, beans!
Yeah, beans.
Oh my goodness, beans!
Yep.
As long as you guys aren't sharing a room, you'll be fine.
The boys are in one room and the adults are in another room.
Or you can all just decide that you're going to change that afterwards when you get there and go vegetarians in one room with your beans. No, seriously. I wish you all the luck, all the best. Have a good travel. You excited about the travels? Is this the first time you've been overseas?
No.
No?
It is for me.
It is for you. It's the first time you've been overseas. Well, that's exciting, isn't it? Representing New Zealand, first time you've been overseas.
It's the first time I've been overseas except for when I was a baby.
Oh, that
so
doesn't count.
I'm quite looking forward to it.
You can't remember, you can't count. Last time I was overseas, I broke my elbow and the insurance flew me back. Business class. Business class is amazing.
All right, I think it's my turn again to break my arm.
Yeah, don't do it on purpose because it could go really badly.
How long was the flight?
Was from Italy all the way to here, so it was sort of 36 hours with stopovers and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. It's long. It's twice as long as going to America because you guys are just hopping across the Pacific there, aren't you?
Yep.
Still 14 hours.
Yeah, 14 hours. 14 hours. A couple of movies and a snooze, you'll be done. I hope you're not jet lagged though. Have you worked out what the time difference is?
It's like 7 hours at the moment. Before daylight savings, it was only 5.
How's that going to go with your prep for the competition?
I think we have a day and a half before the competition starts for us to be prepared for it.
Right. So get up early, take your gym shoes, go early, like normal time early, like 8, 9 o'clock. Take your gym shoes and go for a run in the sun as soon as you get there. First thing in the morning, every morning. Makes your body think that you're awake. And it's daytime.
And there is a Starbucks that we're staying to, so I think caffeine will play a role in that.
I don't know. Caffeine, it can be a false friend because it could just let you down. I mean, what have you got? You're only in the pit for 2.5 minutes, though, aren't you? That's how long your mission goes.
Well, yeah, it's the day of that plus all the judging and stuff as well. Yeah.
Sounds like some long days. You
need to have some energy to talk a lot.
Yes. Take some little lozenges in case you lose your voice because you'll be talking a lot. Wear masks on the plane. That's a really good tip because otherwise there's so many germs. Not even just COVID, but influenza, everything. Because it's really good to not be sick when you get in the other country. Any other tips for flying there, David?
Well, I had my flu vaccine today, so
flu
hopefully
vaccine.
that will come into how we'll be immunised by the time we leave. Yep.
That's a really good tip. flu vaccine, COVID vaccine before you go.
My doctor told me to drink lots of water on the plane.
Yes, and move your feet.
Yeah.
Get up and move around.
Yeah.
And the trick is that you always feel like you don't want to move around because you're comfortable and you don't want to disturb everybody else. If you drink lots of water, which is also good for you, then you have to go to the loo, so you have to move around. So it's really good for you. Like, get up and walk around every hour, every couple of hours. Watch a movie, get up and walk around. Lots of water, lots and lots of water, and no alcohol, even though you guys are probably too young to drink alcohol anyway. It's all good. Anything else that you'd like to say? David, how do you feel about the guys going off?
Oh, I think it's pretty exciting. I mean, I'm going to be there to share the experience, and just it's been quite cool seeing them go through the regionals and the nationals. And, you know, it's fair to say winning the nationals was pretty unexpected, and everybody was blown away. And so just seeing them get into this really seriously. I think we're a bit worried that competition's going to be higher in the,
Well, it's international, going from national to international. You can expect a little bit tougher, but still, even that, just seeing all the other robots, all the other teams from all the other countries. I mean, there's like 2,000 students going to be there, something like 1,500 different teams. I mean, that's just going to be amazing. Like, your mind is going to be blown just from going around and looking at all the other robots, I think, and all the other projects, because, I mean, this is pretty cool. And this is like nowhere near, you are going to be the only team that has got moa and New Zealand extinct big swans there, bones, right? It's totally unique. No one else is going to be doing that. I do wonder what the other people are doing for their research projects, though. Even finding that out is going to be amazing. And how many different robots can there be? Are they all going to look the same? Are they all going to be bigger? Are some going to be bigger and some going to be smaller?
You should see some of the robots that other teams design. They are massive. They look like massive, almost like cardboard boxes.
Wow. So is yours quite small in comparison?
Our goal was to keep it simple.
Yeah.
I like that. Keep it simple, stupid. That's a very common saying. Obviously not from the blank looks I'm getting. Obviously not from your era.
Well, we also want the judges to easily understand.
Exactly. Yeah. And less things to fail as well. Yeah. And there's an elegance in being simple.
Also, talking about less things to fail, when we went to the Nationals, we put all our stuff in a big suitcase, and when we got up there, we actually found out that a lot of it had come apart. Oh
my goodness.
But the robot, knowing that we'd built it simple, it was quite easy to piece back together again.
Excellent.
But if it was a big, complex contraption, it would be very hard to...
Yes, and hard to get through. So you're taking it in, like, hand luggage? Yep. Absolutely. Don't trust anything that's checked in. Hand luggage for the robot? Can you get that through the security? They're going to have to X-ray it, aren't they?
Yeah. Probably take the battery out.
You will have to take the battery out. But the lithium, is it a lithium battery?
I would think so.
Yeah. You can't put lithium batteries in the checked in anyway. You have to take them with you. Yeah, cool. And all your bones, obviously, your fake bones, not the real bones. You're leaving them here in the museum/university, right? But your bones, you're taking them in hand luggage as well. Excellent. Hey, that's all we've got time for, guys. I wish you all the best. I'm sure it is going to be amazing. I'm so jealous. And I definitely want to go with that robot as soon as you get back. Yeah?
Yep.
I'm getting nods all around the table here, folks. You can't hear them, but they're definitely there. Okay. Hey, thank you very much. And
you've been listening to the OI podcast, the shout out for the arts, sciences and mataranga Māori.
You can support this podcast by becoming a member of the OI. Check out the Otago Institute for Arts and Sciences on Facebook or our website.
If you'd like to listen again to this episode or others from the series, look for the OI podcast on OAR FM's website, oar.org.nz.
Brought to you by the Otago Institute for Arts and Sciences, the Otago branch of the Royal Society of New Zealand.
This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On the Air.